Hello everyone. Well, I guess I'm just gonna place this here. So I know this isn't a professional setup and it's in no way anything too special, but hopefully it's a start. You know, I don't have a script for this video. As you can see, I have nothing on my screen. I was just doing some work. And I finally came to the conclusion that we actually need to start making some long form content and actually show stuff behind the scenes, rather than actually just posting like 1 to 1/32 minute clips. And it's like, that's good and all, and I thank my fucking editor for saving my ass with that stuff, but yeah, I think it's about time that I actually connect more with the audience and actually show you what it takes to do this kind of design, what's the process, what are many steps, and maybe give some tips and tricks, tips and tricks if you're trying to design your own armor, since I've been getting a lot of comments on hey, how do you do this, on hey, how do you do that, and I sense that people want to follow the journey, and I'm really thankful for that. Like, I'm really fucking thankful. It makes me really happy to see that this dream of mine is slowly coming to fruition, and that's in part thanks to you guys. But like, maybe in a way I can give back to the community what you guys have given me, all this praise and kind words, and most importantly your intention. I know that seems kind of morbid, but in today's climate I just have to be honest. And I apologize straight away if any of the content isn't perfect or there's technical issues. We will learn across time. So again, I'm gonna be trying different camera angles, different styles of recording, different videos. Maybe this fails, who knows, but you know, it's as they say, the most difficult part is to start, so here it is. But basically I'm gonna be presenting my workflow day to day. I'm gonna be talking about how we actually design the parts, how we fix some stuff, how we improve, what software do I use, and it's not gonna be, how do I say, it's not gonna be just tutorial, but a more so a deep dive into how the Berserk project actually functions. It's not just going to be about me, it's going to be about other people as well. I have, which I'm glad to say, a huge but small team of people, which there's not many of us, but I really appreciate every single one of them, and this is a way to also publicize their works and to help them as they have helped me. Like, firstly, thank God for my editor, or none of this would be possible. I would not have the time to do this. Secondly, one of my good friends as well, who's doing the work for the website, and we're gonna show that in this series. A bunch of other people who have helped me model, engineer, and make this stuff a reality. Of course, I don't have everything to showcase in front of me right now, but I will as the video goes on. So I hope, hopefully this is a good enough introduction, and that's pretty much it. Let's start. I'm gonna keep the microphone here. It might be a bit weird, but it's good for a start. I don't have those professional mics that I can clip onto the shirt, so we're doing with what we can. So what's the Berserk project actually about? It's more about creating stuff that I see can be done better, not necessarily that other people are doing it bad or wrong. I praise all of those who even start something on their own to embark on their journey. But it's more so pushing it to its absolute limit. Of course, I'm not crazy, I can't do everything, but I try to put 100% of myself, and I try to hold myself to the highest standard in showing other people it's possible, that if they have a dream about something, if they have aspirations to achieve something great, something difficult, something that's not necessarily that it hasn't been done before, but it's just difficult and grueling to do, that it can't be done, that they shouldn't be overwhelmed by the task at hand, but more so break it down and look at it as a group of bunch of smaller tasks that can be done. Because I see so many people that have the potential and have the vision, but just don't follow through because they think it's too technically demanding or too challenging, or that their circumstances are not right enough. And I want to make this channel a testament that anything is possible. And I know these are small stuff, I'm not building rockets in my backyard, but it's not an easy project. And I think people who've done the kind of work that I do understand that and can appreciate the works. But it's more so to motivate others to embark on that journey, to not be afraid to let go of the sail and just go into the unknown. You know, sometimes you don't have to see the final destination. Like, of course, you have to visualize it when you get there, but it doesn't have to be on your horizon. The next thing that you have to see is the port on the other side. Not the final destination, but just the next 5 kilometers, the next sometimes 10 centimeters in front of you, and not be afraid to do the work. And really think about how all of these little smaller tasks that I do, these updates, these videos, contribute to actually finishing the project. Because I see a lot of people, not necessarily in cosplay or armor making or any other project, but they limit themselves. They would rather be complacent and say, oh well, that's too complicated for me to do at the moment, or oh, this is like, I can't do this, I'm not sure about this, it's gonna take way too much time. I want to motivate those kinds of people, because I know they have it in them, because I was that person. I was that person while back when I was just a kid. But there's nothing more that disturbs me than to see somebody who could have been great but just doesn't want to get off the couch. And it's not that they're not willing to, it's that they get overwhelmed by the task. And it's not the huge task. They don't get overwhelmed by everything, but they get overwhelmed by small stuff because they forget to look at it. Like, I had a friend of mine who wants to be an engineer, right? And I've talked to him about it. Hey, you can join my project, or I can help you in any way I can to start your career. Like, let's just do something. It can be small, it can be large, but let's just start something. And he's in a state of like semi-paralysis, and of course his situation is not great. Like, not everything's going for him, but at the same time, how do you expect to become an engineer without first trying to be an engineer without knowing it? And it's the same thing here. Like, all of this stuff that I made, of course it's not in front of me right now, I'll show it, is basically a process of could this be done? And then thinking about it, getting to a thought, an idea, and then pushing through it. And I feel like most people are not even willing to imagine it in their head, because they only think about the difficult stuff, and they only think about the grind, and they don't think about the potential of their own work, of how great it can be if they achieve the things that they want to achieve. They would rather be complacent rather than step into the unknown bit by bit. And that's pretty much it. I guess I've told my story. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with information, but hopefully you guys can, and again, this is not a plug, but you guys can either join the Discord or get in touch with me or a member of our team somehow and post more about the projects that you're doing. Like, if you have whatever it may be in your life that you find an interest in and that you want to pull through, I want to make a group of people that are interconnected and are able to help each other. A place to find and assist you in your journey. Because not everything has to be hard if you have the right people around you. And once again, I thank the team of true friends that I have around myself to be able to achieve this, because I couldn't have done it alone. I mean, it would take significantly more time, but it's always more enjoyable to help others along the way. So I hope that this message is appealing, but not in a sense that I'm trying to garner attention. It's more that I really want to wake up those 10 people out of 10,000 to actually start doing something and say, holy shit, look how far we've done, or how far we've come. You know, only just now I'm realizing for how long have I actually been talking. And I don't think this is going to be a first video in the series. I think this is going to be like a trailer, I guess, because future videos will be more action-packed, but I also want to talk about some philosophical stuff and interesting situations in life, and just do a bit of self-reflection and hope that other people do so too and can relate. But many people ask, why Berserk? Like, Berserk wasn't originally... How do I say? Berserk wasn't originally the armor that I was designing. I actually started my journey about, what would be now, maybe 6 years ago, around there, when I watched Jinro, and I absolutely adore that armor, and I love everything about it. I love the movie, I highly recommend it. And I decided, yeah, holy shit, there's nothing, nobody's doing it online, nobody's making this. Couldn't it be me? Why couldn't I be him, you know? Like, why couldn't I take the time to learn or plan out everything that's necessary and take the steps towards, let's say, making the first armor? And don't get me wrong, I was ambitious, but I still, how do I say, I couldn't have imagined the amount of work and dedication it took to actually get to where I am. And I'm still kind of underwhelmed by it. In a sense that the first time, like, I saw people making cosplay and like using Blender to 3D model, I was like, oh yeah, that looks simple enough, like I can learn it. And I just fucking open Blender and it's like looking into a pilot's cockpit. There's like buttons everywhere. I don't understand anything that's going on. It's just like, oh, fuck. And like, it's the, how do I say, at that moment it was like, either I learn this now or I'll have to do something else later. So it's like either the pain of this or the pain of something else. I kind of always had that in the back of my mind, and I guess that's the advantage. But where I'm going with this is, I've designed quite a lot on the suit, and I've actually started this YouTube career, whatever, posting Jinro edits. Again, for my Berserker fans, I know you don't know it, but it's where my channel started gaining traction, and I kind of said, oh well, I could actually do this. And the channel wasn't some sort of approval that I needed. It's just that it's always easier to start grabbing people's attention much earlier, and then it's a snowball effect, right? That's why I'm doing this. And I know it sounds crude to say, but yeah, it is for attention, because I want to send out the message to the world. And as all of you know, to beat something into people, you need to be the loudest voice in the room, because reason sometimes doesn't work. But I'm hopefully both getting to your average Joe and the person who really has that thing but hasn't unlocked the fire inside. And that was me, yeah, that was me like 6 years ago, just like going, how the fuck am I gonna learn this, what next to do, writing all the stuff, watching tutorials, and then realizing, ah shit, that's not the tutorial I'm looking for, I just wasted time, and then going back and again and again and again. And slowly over the years, of course, the project hasn't been going the smoothest, and it's a constant battle uphill of trying to improve every day. But I've started the Berserk project as a side thing, or more so I did not have the funding for the Jinro stuff, and it wasn't as popular, so I decided to go on Berserk because a good friend of mine, brother but not in blood, introduced me to Berserk, and I absolutely fucking loved it. Like, the first time I watched Berserk, I was just like shocked, because I kind of knew the story, but I had no idea, like I couldn't put the pieces together until I watched it, because I wasn't, like, I knew, okay, Griffith is a bad guy, this and that, betrayal and whatever, but you don't get a sense of that until you watch it, right? And all my Berserk fans know, and I urge all of the people who watch this, who haven't watched Berserk, go watch it. Just watch it, the older version. Let me just rewind that, of course, not professional. And yeah, like, getting into Berserk, I realized that the complexity of the armor wasn't something to laugh at, but I never truly grasped it. The first beginnings were to download the 3D model that I found online and to try to 3D print it, but then I realized, what the fuck is this? It just... I don't want to shit on the person who made it, like, props for them, but I would not be selling that to other people. because it's not made well. Like, the amount of work and effort you have to put into fixing the armor is not worth the price that they're offering. And I guess, yeah, like, who am I to say whatever? I shouldn't be judging other people, but I don't know, that it made me, I wouldn't say upset, but slightly motivated in the fact that I could do better. Not because it's me, but because I've seen what's capable. Like, I've seen what can be done and what I'm capable of. And I kind of set out the mission. I asked a friend, like, hey, this is an interesting thing we can work on, hopefully make it into a small business someday and develop it. Who knows? Let's just try and see where it goes. And oh boy, was I naive. Both of us, like, getting into resin printing, getting the model, like, printing a million times. I think we spent around, what, like 60 to 80 liters of resin to this day, like test printing, doing all sorts of chicanery, like, oh, it failing, then the printer breaking, and the journey was wild. But sticking through that and getting to the point where I am, where it's not completed, but it's starting to get some recognition, it's rewarding in a weird sense that you find peace in the chaos. That it was really difficult to do, and that a lot of times it just feels like quitting because it doesn't work, you waste time, again it doesn't work, and then after like 100 to 200 tries, I mean, I'm over exaggerating, but you finally get it right. And that you know that work and effort it didn't just fade away, but rather that you pulled through it, and not only that you had people around you, I wouldn't say cheering you on, but working beside you. It's the greatest victory. And for all the people who, and I've had a lot of people ask me this, like, how can I get your drive? What motivates you? What keeps you pushing forward? And it's that journey, man. It's like, sure, there's pain, there's suffering, and it's tough. It's not easy. It's never gonna be easy. But that's kind of the reward, you know? It's like getting on group calls at like, I don't know, 11 to 2 a.m. to just work, get shit done, organize, and finally seeing the fruits of the labor has been one of the most rewarding things. And in a sense, Berserk, not only because of its story, and I mean, I'm not gonna go here on a rant about the fucking masterpiece that's Berserk, holds a special place in my heart because of that. And I guess that's the reason why I want to bring you guys on this journey. It's both, and I'm just gonna be open about it, to start something on my own, to start a brand, business, whatever you want to call it. But also it's about the people that I managed to motivate along the journey. And it's really a make it or break it type situation where you can see what people are capable if they truly set their mind to something. I mean, I'm a testament of it, but you can never judge yourself truly. You can never truly see yourself without a mirror, a reflection. And that reflection comes through other people. And I wouldn't call myself special because of it, but I feel like a lot of people are missing out and not achieving what they want to because they lack that. And hopefully my message is not something to aspire to, but something to take comfort into the darkness. And that's really like the core message of Berserk as well. And that's why I've gone through all of this, is like, no matter how dark the night gets, there's always light, but not at the end of the tunnel. It's more so in those little campfire moments, in those little moments of gratitude, and when you get to reflect back and see what progress have you made. And not just because you made a progress, but because now you're able to help other people because you put in the work and you became more proficient. Like to take care of others is to take care of oneself. And hopefully that's a good introduction to all of this. Again, I'm brand new. I don't know if this is a fucking trash video or whatever, but hopefully the people who are just watching the reels for the Berserk armor can come here and enjoy the working process. But I'm also hoping to attract some of your, how do I say, burning embers and turn them back into flames, to stoke the fires in the, I guess, not to be comical, but the hearts and minds of the people who enjoyed the journey. Because I believe everybody can achieve greatness, and it's not necessarily a absolute thing where you have to do it, but I think it's worth trying. I think it's worth it to put yourself in a difficult spot and really push yourself to a limit to find out who you actually are and what you stand for. That's really been my transformation. So, and then again, thank you for being here at all. And if you've gone this far, like, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I don't fucking believe it that anybody's watching this. But again, if this message inspires you and you have a dream, reach out to me, reach out to anybody in our Discord, support us, and hopefully we can support you back. And of course, if you're here just to enjoy the journey, well, I'm thankful either way. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, peace.